Yes. Ready to go? Okay. Hi. Today's speaker is Laura Van Arendonk Baugh. Did I say that right?
Good enough.
She's an Indianapolis-based award-winning author of epic and urban fantasy, mystery, historical fiction, and nonfiction on animal behavior and training. Before she started writing books, she was a behavior analyst, an animal trainer, a costumer, cosplayer, whatever that is, and a chocolate addict. She says that she experienced a turning point in her writing career when she realized that she could buy a sexy red Tesla with income from her books. So today she is going to tell us about the many benefits of using BookFunnel, which she calls an indispensable tool for the marketing and distribution of her books. So, and if Laura looks familiar, it could be because she was our guest speaker way back in August of 2018 when she spoke on the topic of social media for writers. And Laura and I accidentally reconnected last November when we were next to each other selling books at the Christmas gift and hobby show. And for me, watching her interact with the shoppers and sell just a ton of books was like watching an artist at work, and it was a valuable education for me that I'll never forget. So I couldn't have been happier when she accepted my invitation to be a speaker for us today. And so now I'm going to turn it over to Laura. Thanks.
Oh, that's so nice. I'll sip you your 20 later. I brought some props, which I forgot to take out of my bag, so please hold. All right. Okay. And then here-ish. Okay. All right. And I didn't bring my handy dandy remote control to handle my slideshow from a distance, so I'm going to run back and forth. Sorry. Okay, but we're going to talk about BookFunnel. We're also going to talk about Story Origin, which has many of the same features, but I'm going to walk us through BookFunnel because I think it's possibly just a little more acceptable. But the conversation that was just had about I need to distribute some electronic copies and how do we do that? This is how we do that. So thank you for that lovely slow pitch segue into my talk. You know what? So, quite simply, BookFunnel is a file distribution service that specializes in books. And so you could theoretically put other stuff up there, but why would you? So if you're familiar with things like Dropbox, OneDrive, something like that, those are cloud-based services, but they're fairly clunky. Some people will use them to distribute books. I don't recommend it. It's got some security concerns, not that the services do, but when you start distributing things, you don't have any control over those links, where they go. There's just a lot of questions there. BookFunnel is designed from the ground up for our needs as authors to distribute things. So as I say here, we've got ebooks, EPUBs. Some people still are using Mobies. It will handle both of those. It'll handle PDFs. That can be in a finished like interior book format file, or I'm going to provide some coloring pages or some worksheets or anything that go with my book. I can package those in there with it. It also does audiobooks. Yay! So I can distribute all of those. So what this means is with all of these, I can use this to hand out my reader magnets. Those are known by a lot of different terms. I'm just using the term reader magnet, but it's usually a short story or a free novel or something that you're doing to introduce somebody to your work so that you can get them on your newsletter list and that sort of thing. Advanced reader copies, promotional copies. If I want to sell copies off my website, I do all of my sales distribution through BookFunnel. Or I could do it at live events. Hey, thanks for coming to my table. You're actually more interested in the ebook or the audiobook rather than the paperbacks or hardbacks that I have here today. No worries. I'm going to sell you this card and you take it home, put it in your phone or computer, and poof, you've got the audiobook now. Okay. We don't actually put the card into your computer, but okay. So you can do these kinds of things. We know reader magnets are a great way to reach new people, to find new audiences. I'm going to expose people to my stuff. Hey, sign up for my newsletter, get a free story. But not everybody's super great at knowing how to get those free things that I'm trying to give them. And so my classic example is I gave away some free stuff on my website. Hey, you're a subscriber. You just happen to be here on the right day. Here's some good stuff. And and somebody contacted me and like, I know I keep trying to download it, your site's broken, I can't get it, it never opens, blah, blah, blah. I went and checked the web blogs. They downloaded it 7 times. The problem was they didn't know what to do with the file once they had it. So one of the most critical things for me about BookFunnel and such is that I can offload all of those tech concerns and I can focus on writing and on marketing, and somebody else can handle all the tech questions. So I can use a BookFunnel giveaway page, which I'll show you in just a second. And I can just be like, hey, here is a page where you can download goodies. It could be a short story, it could be a novel, it could be a complete ebook box set of 12 novels, whatever you want to do, it can happen. Or I can send, I've got newsletter subscribers, and I'm like, hey, anybody who's on my newsletter this month gets a free short story. Go here and you can download that. And it will automatically appear in your BookFunnel account. Again, we're going to see all these things here in just a minute. So if it's not super clear yet, don't worry. Once they get to that download page, they can download the file directly onto their phone, their computer, whatever. Or they can use the BookFunnel app. So just like you have a Kindle app or a Nook app, there's a BookFunnel app, which is fully featured and really nice. And they can read things in there. It is. Okay, yes. Awesome. Let's see.
Hold on, I gotta look at my paperwork. Outs numbers.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Or I can use that BookFunnel app and then send that file to another e-reader app that I want to use. So I've got a novel, I want to read it, but I prefer to read it in Kindle rather than anywhere else. So I can use a BookFunnel to get it to my Kindle app. Okay, so all of that happens on there. So you've still got lots of flexibility and options. So, yeah. Gonna be very exclusive. All right, so any of these questions that we have that we've experienced with, hey, I tried to download it, I download it, I don't know where the file went, I don't know how to open the file, I hear that I can read it in Kindle, even though I got it off your website, but I don't know how to get it to my Kindle. You know what? Not my problem. BookFunnel tech support handles all of that. I'm just like, oh, when I get those emails, I'm so sorry you're having a question. See that button that says need help? Click it. BookFunnel's tech support is actually excellent. Like they're really good people. They handle stuff quickly and politely, and I haven't had any issues with them. So for me, it's worth the money just to not have to be, helping people with files. Okay, so this is what a file or a download page might look like. This is one of mine. So get your free copy of the Songweaver's Vow, and then you can see if you like my work, and then you can get more stuff kind of thing. And so, I have a little space to talk about the book. I've got a lovely big display of the cover and a big get my book. And you can customize these buttons a little bit. Mine just says get my book because I believe in straight honesty right there. Grab it. When you click that, then this will happen. And here we've got some options. I'm going to show you one way that this is set up. For me, this was set up. You can get this book by signing up for my newsletter. So I'm going to ask you for your first name. I only ask for first name for my newsletter. Reduce friction. I don't need anybody's last name. They don't need to care what I'm going to do with it. So first name and email address. You're going to click the button saying, yes, I understand that I'm signing up for a newsletter, but I can unsubscribe if I hate it. And then that send my book button becomes active, and that book magically appears in their BookFunnel library and on their app and anywhere that they have that. So we have several ways that we can do this. The one I just showed you is clearly collecting email addresses because that one was specifically a newsletter sign up. I can also distribute books without any data collection at all. And I have done that with, I have a new epic fantasy series that I'm working on. I would like people to be interested in that when it comes out. So I put out a teaser short story. Hopefully people grab the free short story, read it and go, oh, I want to know more about these characters. And there's another sign up at the end. But if they're not going to like the short story, I don't want to bother with them again. So I'm not collecting their information up front. I can have the optional, would you like to sign up for my newsletter? you can do that, or you can grab it just for free and see what you think. Or I can require you can only get this if you sign up for my newsletter or otherwise provide your email. Okay. So I've got different ways I can set this up. Now, practical applications. Everybody grab your smartphones or your gadgets. And we have two options here. If you want to scan the QR code, go ahead. And if you don't want to scan the QR code, I have a short URL there on the right. So just type that into your browser and see what happens. Yeah. I'm gonna grab my drink while you're all typing. All right, is everybody getting there? Is anybody stuck? Okay. No reader left behind. Okay. All right. So this one, don't worry, you can choose or not choose to sign up there. I don't remember if this one has a sign up or not. But this one is just a sample. I have like the first 8 chapters of a novel, right? So it's a way for me to give out a sample that people can grab and do a little test read of. But so you can see, and I always recommend anywhere I use a QR code, I also use a text URL for people who are not comfortable with QR codes, don't trust them in public, or just having issues, whatever. There's always a way that they can get to it in 2 different ways. Hi. Nope, we're not going to do that. Fine. Ha. All right.
Hey, wait, I have a quick question.
Yes, please.
Never mind. Yeah, never mind.
Okay. Well, if it comes back, stop me.
The app.
Yeah.
You have to download the app from
Yeah.
the app store.
So when you opened that page, let me jump back actually here. When you can send my book, you've got an option of ways that you can get it. And one of them is just use my BookFunnel library and it will give you the option to download the app there. So you can also get to this without installing the app, which is, I think it's my.bookfunnel.com. And that's your browser access to your BookFunnel library. So yeah, so we were going to get there, but thank you for getting me there earlier. No, like this tells me that I did not distribute the information in the proper order. So you can once you have it, start adding things to your BookFunnel library, they're there. You can choose to delete them, but they won't ever disappear on their own. And then if you install the app, you need to use the same email address when you sign in, so it matches to the same account. But then you can access stuff from the app, from the web, anywhere you want to be. Yes.
Am I misunderstanding, or are you downloading free books?
I am sometimes choosing to give people free books. I also use this to sell people books. So yeah, this is, but this is a way that I can distribute free books, but have a lot more control. We're going to talk about that in just a second, because I do not believe in just free books scattered into the wind. I choose to use my free books as a tool, and I have resource guarding issues. So there you go. So, all right. This is not where I want to be. There we go. Okay. We also can do this with audiobooks, as I mentioned. Now, any of the plans, there are several tiers of BookFunnel membership plans that you could have. The audiobooks are only available on mid-list and above. So they're not at the absolute entry-level plan. They're at the mid-list plan. I'll show you the pricing later. And right now, the audio is technically in beta, and they say when it gets out of beta, it will be its own separate plan that can be as an add-on to the subscription pricing. It has been in beta for years. I don't like a lot of years. So my plan at this point is to just continue using it, and I will have a backup plan if it ever shifts and if the pricing is outrageous. But I don't know that the pricing will be outrageous. And in the meantime, I actually held off doing audio distribution through BookFunnel because I was like, oh, it's in beta, it might disappear. It's been in beta so many years. I'm just like, fine, just sell the books. I will shift later if I need to. So let's see what it looks like with audio. So here's your chance to get. Now this one is the whole free thing. There you go. Thank you for inviting me. Here's free audio. And I think one of these, and I should have made myself a note, which was which, one of these asked for your email and one did not. So hopefully you're getting to experience it both ways. But if it does ask for your email and you don't want to be on my newsletter list, kindly unsubscribe and we will be fine. But I wanted you to see in your BookFunnel library what it looks like to have both ebooks and audiobooks in there. So that's why we're doing this. And that BookFunnel app is a fully featured app, just like Kindle or Nook or anything else. So you can, make bookmarks, jump around from chapter, all the things. It will remember your place in the audiobooks, all of that. It's actually one of my favorite audiobook apps. Okay. Advantages to using this kind of distribution rather than I used to, I'd put a file up on my website, tell people to go to that web page and download it. There's a lot of reasons to do it this way instead, or advantages to doing this way instead of a different service. One, you'll notice you did not encounter any ads as you were doing that for any other books that are not mine. Okay, there's no ads. BookFunnel's not asking people to subscribe to their advertising service. They don't have one. BookFunnel's not asking people to go look at other people's books. Hey, you're interested in this. Would you also like to look at? No. I sent them there. Keep them on my stuff, right? So it's something that doesn't happen on all services. Private links. Those web pages that you were just taken to are not going to pop up in Google. Okay, so you're only going to get there if I give you those links. So that gives me a little bit more control. Now, theoretically, one of you could take that link for that free audiobook and put it in a forum somewhere and tell people to go grab it. If that happens, I just change the link. So, okay, so there are ways to control it. It's GDPR compliant. If you're not familiar with that, that is the European Data Privacy Protection legal package, I guess. I'm gonna very shorthandedly refer to that. A lot of people are like, oh, it doesn't apply to American authors because we're not in the EU. And I'm like, well, first of all, it does apply to anybody you want to, my European readers are used to seeing their privacy be protected. So they like seeing that their privacy is going to be protected. Secondly, maybe someday we'll get privacy protection in this country. It's nice to be prepared if that happens. And thirdly, when would I not just tell people, yes, I'm being a decent human being? Like, go ahead and just, but that's all built in. So you don't have to worry about any of those requirements, staying legal, any of that, that's all built in already for you. This is digital watermarking. So when you open that ebook, you're not going to see anything across there. It's going to look just like an ebook that's normal. But digitally, it is watermarked. So we know who downloaded that file. So should that file ever appear on a pirate site, you know who did that. Okay, so BookFunnel will actually go in and grab that for you. That matters because I had an advanced review team that I got my book in it early because it's before I was on BookFunnel. And my book was on Pirate Bay a week before it released. I was like, oh, one of my ARC readers is a jerk. And so if that had been digitally watermarked, I could have asked BookFunnel to check who that was and they would have told me. So yeah. And I can limit downloads if I want to. This is an option, but I could say, I'm going to give away 500 copies of, so go get that. Or for the month of April, this is the free first book in series or something. And so those are optional limits that I can put in to kind of increase excitement or do something for a special event or whatever. And again, my favorite feature, full text support. So if anybody's having trouble, I'm like, oh, fortunately, we have a whole team of dedicated staff just for you. Go do it. So, all right. So we've done all of that, but wait, there's more. So now I've got ways to set up distribution. Now I can use this as marketing. So I can go into, there are group promotions offered. This one is sci-fi and fantasy. This is just, I opened up the sci-fi and fantasy list. This week, there are 386 promos taking signups right now. Some of those will be really broad. Some of those will be really specific. Okay, so you can find them for romance. You can find them for mystery. You can find them for thriller. You can find them for anything. And even within sci-fi and fantasy, that's the broad category. Then I can drill down. I want an urban or paranormal promo. I want something that's specifically romantasy. I want something that's specifically epic fantasy, no romance, whatever. There are two kinds of promotions that BookFunnel does. One is newsletter building. That's typically, hey, sign up for my free book, join my newsletter when you do, and that's way I can get some people onto my newsletter list and tell them other things, and they can see if they want to be there because they got a free sample. Or there are sales promos, and so that instead of the download pages that we've been talking about, they would go and see, oh, Laura's running a sale on her first in series. Let me check that out. What happens is everybody signs up for these promos, everybody gets a link, everybody puts that link to the promo in their newsletter, and then I get to promote not only to my readers, but everybody's promoting to their readers, so we get a lot more eyeballs on something. So the way that looks, let's try it. This is hands-on. Nobody told you there's gonna be homework in this class. So I'm just gonna take you to a promotion. This is actually a pretty small one. But you just pop up, and I think there's only a half dozen titles in this. I've been in promotions with a few titles. I've been in promotions with 100 titles. Yes, yeah. And then if you scroll down, you'll see several things. I think this one actually goes to a little bit different kind of promo. This is everybody who is running a Kickstarter this month. So you could just see, hey, I'm interested in kickstarting a project. What books are up there? Oh, here we go. But if that could be, here are your Kickstarter projects. Could be, here are the book covers. We're doing a whole promo that's nothing but first in thriller series or, something like that. So you could really get down to a very niche audience. And this can be a really effective way to share eyeballs. So I just grabbed this. I think this was the Songweaver's Vow book that you saw earlier. So far, I've grabbed over 1,000 people have downloaded this to look at my newsletter. Some of them will stay, some of them will go. That's fine. But what it is I got 1,000 people to look at me who had not been at my website, right? So that's a way we can do that. Now, I don't want to just build only freebie seekers as my audience. Okay, so you still want to do good newsletter practices. That's a whole nother topic that we don't have time to get into today. But good newsletter hygiene is going to be really important. But this can be a really effective tool for building your audience. Okay, so this is the book that showed up on Pirate Bay. I mentioned it a little bit ago, a week before it was released. So frequently when we're using, and advanced reader copies are great, they're important, that let you get early reviews, let you get early word of mouth out, but how am I going to get people to get the file? How am I going to keep track of that file? So which of those people who signed up to be on my list actually downloaded it, which of them downloaded it and shared it with 25 friends, which, all of these things. And, again, obviously we don't want our stuff to be getting pirated before it even releases. So if you use BookFunnel or similar service for your ARC downloads, BookFunnel, I upload the book, I give them the list of my readers' email addresses. They get one-time download links. So there's no unauthorized sharing. Their files are watermarked. So each one's watermarked to that particular reader. So if you hand your copy to somebody else and it goes somewhere, we know where the leak was. Okay, we know who the jerk was in this room. I can pull down the file and see I had 100 ARC readers and 87 of them downloaded it or whatever, and I can see exactly all those details. And BookFunnel will send them reminders. Hey, remember you downloaded this thing? You were going to read it and then review it. It's getting time to post your review. Here's where we would like you to review it, and all that email is on that. Yes.
Have you successfully used this system for beta readers? Being able to give beta readers, like you said, the one-time download link of the book or even sections of the book.
Right. I have not used it for beta readers, but you absolutely could, because the system is going to be very similar for that purpose as well. Yeah. And yeah, the same thing with one-time downloads and piracy watermarking. That's where I would want to be using that.
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm only, people I really, really trust with a PDF, but I'd like to have a more expansive.
The other one that I'm going to mention is Story Origin may have a few more beta reader features. Don't quote me on that because I haven't used it, but I feel like I've seen more beta reader features over there. But either one is gonna work fine, so.
Do you work with formatter for ebooks or do you do?
I do my own formatting.
Okay.
Yeah, I have control issues. Yeah. I do my own formatting. I used to hand code my ebooks because I was that person, but now I use Atticus. Now I get to go out in sunlight occasionally. Okay. And again, anything that goes wrong with my ARC readers getting files, oh, it's not my problem. Thank you, BookFunnel tech support. So that's why I'm here. So okay. Direct sales. I'm sorry, did I answer your question? Are we good?
You did. Thank
Okay.
you very much.
Awesome. Direct sales, which I mentioned, I use BookFunnel to deliver. I want people to be buying from Bezos doesn't need a 16th yacht. Please spend your money with me. Okay, so that's good. So I sell direct from my website, or some people will use Shopify or something like that. You've got options. WooCommerce, Shopify, Gumroad, Payhip, Thrivecart, and PayPal all integrate directly with BookFunnel. So I use WooCommerce on my website. I build my store on my website. I connect it to BookFunnel. You complete a purchase on my website, BookFunnel delivers your book. And then all the tech support is their problem. I keep coming back to that, but it makes me really happy. So I can automate delivery. Because it's all automated, I can tell them deliver this instantly, which is how we do it. If somebody makes a purchase from my website, or I can set up a pre-order. And so if you want to pre-order my book, even on my website, I can set that up and then they will deliver it. I did this for a special holiday project this year. And so anybody could sign up and the pre-orders all delivered on December 1st. So if anybody uses Scribe Count to track your author numbers, you know, your income and accounting and all of that kind of stuff, BookFunnel does integrate with Scribe Count for your handling in your direct sales. And if you're not using Scribe Count, don't worry about that. It's technology you're not using and don't need. At a live event, you can, as I said, sell. It's kind of like buying a gift card. You know, you're gonna pull out a gift card and then activate it and it becomes worth something. Only there's no activation. I would have a code on that card. It's a one-time use code. So you want to, you're looking at my books, but you really prefer everything in audio. Like, great. Don't go to Audible. Buy it here. I will hand you a code, and I get more money, and they get it immediately. Bezos doesn't get a 14th yet. So those, we can do that. And so a lot of times, if you've been at live events and you're trying to sell and they're like, oh, that looks really good. I'll remember to go online and get it later. And we're like, no, you won't. Okay. So this is like, I can get people in the moment without losing any momentum. I just did my very first Kickstarter, which ended like 36 hours ago. Yay. And everything that's digital for my Kickstarter is going to be delivered through BookFunnel. I've got an ebook that's going out. I've got PDFs of gaming zines that are going to be going out. I've got supplementary materials and PDFs. I've got, I've sold some backlist material, ebook box sets, audiobooks, all of that. All of that is going to go out through BookFunnel. Again, I can offload all the tech support. I get a one-stop shop. I don't have to talk people through trying to use Dropbox. I don't have to worry about people sharing links to things, all of that. Okay, it's only going to go directly to my Kickstarter supporters. So some things, you have choices you can use or not use in the subscription. Direct email integration. What that means is you are, what am I trying to say? Your newsletter service connects to BookFunnel, so you don't have to manually enter any email addresses. So that means if somebody signs up for your newsletter to get a free book, they also immediately get your welcome with whatever you're setting up for them. Oh, what have I done? This is why I'm not allowed to hold things while I'm, okay, go back. Go back.
Oh, just,
There we go.
yeah.
Okay. Put things down. All right, so just don't put the escape key into my abdomen. So I use SendFox. There's, you guys have heard of a zillion different ways to do your email. And so I have BookFunnel integrated. I didn't used to do this. I used to manually collect my BookFunnel signups and enter them. It took me like 5 minutes a month. It wasn't like it was a huge deal, but it meant people weren't getting things immediately. They'd still get their whatever they downloaded from BookFunnel immediately, but then when they got their welcome to my newsletter email, and from me, it maybe been 2 weeks, and they forgot about me, or who knows what. They're like, where's this email coming from? I want something to be happening while I'm fresh in their minds. They don't need to be waiting 2 weeks. And then if they don't want to be on my newsletter, they immediately immediately unsubscribe, because they know where it's coming from, as opposed to it came a little bit later. They don't know where it came from. They mark it as spam. It's a terrible thing. So yeah. BookFunnel will support multiple pen names. So if you have multiple pen names, you can, I think one tier has 2, one tier has 5. You can match to what you need. There's something called book gifting, which I can just, say, oh, you know what, I'm just going to send you a book. And so they don't have to even go to the download page. I can just put their email in and it automatically appears in their inbox. So you can do that with a Patreon or something like that. So then those are features that are not in the base tier, but if they're the kind of thing that you would save you time, then they may be worth paying for. So yes.
Okay, so I'm full of questions.
Please.
For our purposes, say for instance, we're at an event and we have a QR code, and that QR code is what they would scan to sign up for our newsletter, right? And we could have an excerpt from a book that, sign up for our newsletter and get this, free excerpt from one of our anthologies or whatnot, one of our best-selling anthologies, perhaps, if we can agree to something like that, to give them a little glimpse into what we're doing here. And also, could we have another QR code that goes directly to our website that will, they scan or whatnot, and it goes directly to the website, shows everything or whatnot, also helps to promote the authors within our organization as well.
Yeah. My gut reaction is to have just one QR code on the thing. A single call to action is a lot more effective than, oh no, make me make choices. But as far as on-site things, would you like some free fiction? Here you go. Okay. And I was giving these away at the fair where we both were. Now I will be honest, these are not my most effective marketing. Like, I thought these would be a lot better than they are. I'm going to finish out what I'm doing, but I'm probably not going to do this exact thing again. But what I have is a fiction sampler, so it's lots of little bits of chocolate, and you can choose stories you like, okay? And then because I was giving this away mostly at conventions where people were doing a lot of standing in line, my copy on the back is, read while you stand in line. Are you bored? You have a book. Here we go. And so they can get the QR code or the URL in text, either one, and immediately grab a book and start reading right there while they're standing in lines. So again, these were not as effective as I thought they would be, but it's very similar to what you're talking about. I just customized it for that particular audience. But yeah, these have no email sign up. This is totally frictionless. Are you bored in line? Here's a book. Okay. And so I'm not, and if they like anything in it at the end of what they're reading, there's a like this, here's a sign up for my newsletter, so I can take them on there. But yeah, so take these, I'm using them up.
Like an easel, just like if we had a table at a convention or some type of event, we had an easel display, and that easel display allows them to scan that QR code. That would, because we're trying to drive up membership, right? So that would be for the QR code would go sign up for our newsletter and get this, free excerpt. That would be the main one. The other suggestion or thought that I was having was something that we distribute elsewhere.
Yeah.
Not at the same place.
Yeah. So no, a standee with with a QR code and a print link. You want a free book? Here you go. Yep, that's great, and people grab those all the time, especially at convention kind of things. People are getting used to, that's a common way of distributing information. Yes?
Yeah, I have, because there was mention about our chapter books, so if our chapter books are on Amazon,
Mhm.
can you also distribute them through Book Club, or is it?
If they are in KU, the answer is no. If you are, so if you've signed the thing that says I am exclusive to Amazon, then this is in competition with that. I distribute wide, so I can do what I want. So yeah,
Okay, but
So,
it
yeah.
depends on if we're in Kindle Unlimited or not, I don't know.
yeah. If you're in Kindle Unlimited, you have already said you will not distribute anywhere else. But
Okay.
if you are not in Kindle Unlimited, you are the boss of you. Do what you want.
Okay.
Yes.
At the very least, we should use a QR code for, membership, or people wanting to sign.
Right. And I think even in KU, I am not a lawyer and I'm not in KU, so please double check this, but I think even in KU, you can distribute samples, like, the first 10% would be free on Amazon anyway. And I think you can also give out that first 10%, and that does not violate your KU TOS. But I'm not in KU, so don't trust me. Double check that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, this is great. So BookFunnel pricing, I'm gonna walk through very quickly. It starts at $20 a year. That caps you at 500 downloads a month, which honestly is plenty to get started. It lets you participate in those group promos and things. It does not automate your email address collection. So just be aware that you're doing the, hey, would you find this interesting? Here's a link at the end to sign up to give me your email address. That's not built into the $20 plan. The $100 plan does have that. You can do that secure ARC delivery that I talked about, those download codes, all of those things. All the good stuff comes with the $100 annually plan. That includes 2 pen names, 5,000 downloads a month, which I have never run over. Be great if I did. It hasn't happened. But guys, if you have the best, if something catches, it goes viral, you have the best month. If you go over your downloads per month, they charge you $5 per additional 1,000 downloads. That is a problem that I can deal with, so I am not worried about that. And if we're adding $50, then you can automate all your email integrations, which is what I mentioned earlier, which I resisted doing because I'm fundamentally cheap, but I realized for $50, honestly, that was giving my readers a better experience, which ultimately is better for me. And so there we go. And then you can go up further if you have a lot of pen names, if you're a small publishing house rather than an individual author, whatever, but we don't need to go into all of that. The other thing, I'm really not ever comfortable being like, this is the one way to do things. So I want to also mention Story Origin. BookFunnel got started first. Story Origin is another very good option for this. They have slightly different feature sets. They have similar but slightly different pricing. I think Story Origin may have a little bit more, as I said, for the beta sharing as opposed to, meaning that they want to get feedback and all of that, whereas ARCs, you're generally not collecting that. Something I personally find irritating about Story Origin is it only has video tutorials. BookFunnel does a really nice job of everything's explained clearly. It has bullet points. I can skim and find exactly what I want. Video tutorials make me ragey. I don't want to watch 20 minutes of a video. I want to skim, find the one thing that I need and move on with my life. So if that is a thing, then just know that is a fundamental difference between those two. And if you're like, wow, Laura, you need to get out and touch grass because video tutorials are fine, then have fun. Both of them will work. I actually have memberships in both, so that's just giving you options. So I'm going to take questions briefly, and then we're going to walk through the process, and I'll show you how I set up a book on BookFunnel so you'll all be experts and ready to go home and do it. Okay, yes?
Okay, you listed up there pen names. What's the thing with pen names? I don't understand.
So I write all of my books as Laura Van Arendonk Baugh, which may or may not have been a smart decision, but it's where I am. If I were to open, if I'm going to write paranormal romance or something that's very different from what I do already, I'm probably going to use a different name so I don't muddy my audiences. I'm going to write that under Sandra Sells. I don't know, something. I've got a different pen name. I don't need another BookFunnel account for that. I can just set them up differently. Yeah. Yes.
I don't have any questions from the Zoom crowd.
Great.
I did wanted to let you know, Bridget said to everyone, it's like the Songweaver's vow was excellent.
Ah, thank you. So no, lots of people 20s after today. Okay. Let me see if I need just a second to switch what I'm doing over into the Zoom so they can see there. Oh yeah, sorry guys, hold on. Let's fix. All right. Can you see the page in Zoom?
Yes.
All right, good. Let me get back to right here. So this is my BookFunnel dashboard. It's just going to tell me what's happening here. Probably if I refresh this, it will tell me that more people checked out Songweaver's Vow and my White Christmas audiobook. Okay, so some of you grabbed that. Thank you very much. Again, if you signed up, no obligation to say, just unsubscribe. But let's say I want to add something new. So I'm going to upload, going to create an entirely new book, and we're going to walk through that process. So I'm going to go to the add new button, because of course, actually, let me check real quick. If I'm over here, are you guys seeing on the Zoom, are you seeing my cursor move? If I move no, okay, let me go back, capture. Oh, it says it's capturing the cursor. Let me go back here. Blah, blah, and it's not, that's not, oh, it is. Okay, good. I just want people on the Zoom to be able to track it. Okay, so I'm gonna go to add new. And again, you can see we've got book, audiobook, short audio. For the record, short audio and audiobook, the only difference between those is obviously short audio has a time limit, which is still like several hours. It's not like a 12-minute time limit. But short audio, I think, is included in the mid list, whereas audiobooks will be that separate program that's currently in beta. So distributing short stories should still be available even after the other one goes out of beta. But as I said, it's been in beta so long, I'm just gonna keep using it. Okay, so I'm going to add a new book here, and we're gonna call this the Kickstarter. What am I doing? Demo title, because I'm really creative. Label, I can give that a different title if I want. I'm just going to keep it there. And I'm going to say this is going to be a novella. And if it's part of the Kitsune Tales series, this is volume 5, and I can just put in all of that information, which we don't need. My tagline, my book description, if I want to leave readers a little bit of notes there, please, I hope you enjoy this. Make sure you review. This is book 3, so if you're confused, here's a link to book 1, whatever. But we're just going to create the book because we're using our time efficiently. So I'm going to start by uploading my cover, and that is not where I want to go. Let's see, I made myself, there we go, look. So I made myself a little file, this collection of files to use today. So I'm going to upload this cover image. And so that's what readers are going to see when they arrive at that download page. And then I have book files. Again, I've set myself up. I have my EPUB here. So I'm going to upload that EPUB, and it is going to automatically start converting that into any files that will be needed. So it will be available in EPUB, it'll be available in Mobi. All of that will happen. Actually, let me I tracked what I said. It may not convert it to Mobi. I can upload a Mobi if I need to. I don't think it will automatically convert it to Mobi. But you'll see there that it has a Kindle EPUB and a generic EPUB. If Amazon wants that to be formatted a slightly different way, it will take care of all of that for you. So all of that's going to be processing right there. And you can see it to that very quickly. Status is now ready. Now there is no PDF uploaded because it's not going to convert my EPUB to a PDF. I can upload a PDF directly here if I want that available in PDF as well. What I'm going to do is this is, where do we go? I'm going to go ahead and upload a PDF here. And so I've created the same file, but in PDF. So now it's a fixed format. It's not reflowable, all of that. This is what I would do for something that I want people to be able to print. It's not as great for for sitting at home on your couch and reading. But now I have all of those formats ready to go. And if I would come up here to action on the top right, I can create a landing page and I can choose, okay, do I want people to sign up? Do I want people to be able to grab it without signing up? Do I just want to make it a sales page? People can see the cover, they can read about it, but then there's a link to Amazon or my website or something like that. So I'm not going to give it away for free. I'm just going to tease people. Then they can give me money for it and they'll get delivered to them. Or you can do something that is a restricted landing page for current subscribers. I didn't mention this before, but if I have my email list integrated with BookFunnel, I can put an email link out, or I'm sorry, I can put a link out, email it to people or put it on my website or put it in my email newsletter or whatever. They will arrive, sign into BookFunnel, and they can only download that if their email address is already subscribed to my newsletter. So that is a way that I can give my newsletter subscribers a bonus, but make sure it doesn't go out of my control. So then I'm gonna do, it's just a simple page, no email collection. I'm gonna pretend this one's just getting me a sample download. And I could here put an expiration date on that. I could say it's only gonna be downloadable to the first 50 people or whatever, but we're just gonna save that. And then now, in theory, I can go and see what this looks like. Ta-da! There it is. So pretend I named that something really cool, but this is what it would be like. And so, and if I filled out a description or notes to the reader or anything, it would be in that white space there, but I've just got it there. So that's how quick and easy it is to get set up. So you really, this is not something that you're going to be slogging for hours or doing a lot of tech work for. It is that quick and easy. So.
Well, you've seen how tech savvy we are. We definitely need something that's easy.
So I will say the help, like the support, the support materials. It's one reason, again, I don't like Story Origin having only video tutorials because I can't just check what I need. And if something's confusing, I have to go back and watch the video multiple times, as opposed to where's that bullet point? And I'm just going back and forth, between the two screens, right? So this is one reason that I like BookFunnel for getting started. Story Origin definitely has some awesome features, but if you're not as tech fluent, BookFunnel may be an easier access. Yeah, make your own decision. But I feel like you can do this. This is where it's at here. So, yes.
Okay, so when you format the book, like you're gonna do it for Smashwords or Amazon, they have format. So do you just upload a PDF copy, format it on PDF and they'll adjust it?
Don't do anything from PDF. The entire purpose why PDF was invented in the first place was to provide a fixed format that would not change. So if then you try to build an ebook off of that, you're having two opposite purposes there. So if you want to do it, draft to digital and Smashwords and such will work from a docx, a Word document or something. You can do it from that.
Okay, I would just say a word very quickly.
Okay.
You format it, any adjustments that have to be made, if you upload the PDF, they'll take care of it.
If your PDF will always appear exactly as you upload it, because that is the purpose of a PDF. A PDF will always appear the exact way you made it. That is the purpose of a PDF.
You want to upload a Word document.
And this is when you want to upload it in an EPUB. EPUB, yes. This is not a formatter. This is just for distribution, but it will massage your EPUB so that everybody will get the EPUB that they need, but it is not going to change your Word doc into an EPUB. You can do that from Smashwords, draft to digital. I'm going to highly recommend, if you do this a lot, go ahead and invest in Atticus. Like it's a massive time saver. And if you're not familiar with that, I will happily talk about that another time. But
But yeah, so if you upload an EPUB if you upload a PDF anywhere, it will remain in that format. It will not convert well, because that's the purpose of a PDF. The purpose of an EPUB is to adapt to the device it's on. So, did I just confuse it? Was that bad? We good?
What about Vellum?
Vellum, I've heard nice things about Vellum, but Vellum is Mac only, and I'm a Windows girl. So, so Atticus will work on anything, and Atticus at this point actually has more features than Vellum. So there you go. By the way, I'm not employed by BookFunnel, Story Origin, Atticus, or anybody else, and I get no kickbacks from any of them. So you just have me and my lots of opinions. That's where I am. So. Okay, questions? No? Okay. Well, thank you so much for letting me come out and enthuse about things.
Really helpful.
Good.
This was a really informative.
I was so
Thank
happy
you.
when I heard people say like, oh, well, we're trying to figure out how to send the ebook. And I'm like, I've got this. So this is why I'm here. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this might solve my problems.
Yeah. And like I said, you can get started. Story Origin actually has a free tier to get started. BookFunnel is $20 to get started. Both of them, if you're starting to get into the really heavy lifting features, are going to cost more than that. But if you just want to dabble and see what you think, that's a pretty affordable entry point for both of those. So yeah, there you go. Go have fun.
Thank you.
And don't give nobody in here, when I said here's a QR code, nobody panicked and said, what's that? So you're further in tech than you think. So yeah, we're good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have an announcement. Anybody going to Juniper on Made for Lunch